Today, the United States military continues to carry out large-scale combat operations in Iran to eliminate the grave threats posed to America by this terrible terrorist regime.
الان مترو رد میشم این چیه اونجا چیه ولی دیگه از این ما اگر ویدیو خوبی داریم.
Well, most of the people we had in mind are dead. So, we had some in mind from that group that is dead. And now we have another group. They may be dead also, based on reports. So I guess you have a third wave coming in. Pretty soon we're not going to know anybody.
The kind of bombing going on in Tehran and the kind of retaliation by Iran, I think we should wait and watch for at least 3-4 days. Mustafa has now taken over as the new supreme commander, almost in lines of his father in his thinking, and a person who has lost his father, mother, wife, daughter, everyone in this entire bombing there. And he has been appointed as the supreme commander, who himself was once responsible for Basij, and also the IRGC is committed to him. In that context, much of diplomacy may not really work now. And with this, the kind of bombing going on in Tehran and the kind of retaliation by Iran, I think we should wait and watch for at least 3-4 days before either does Iran capitulate, which again may be difficult, but not totally ruled out, primarily because Iran is now on its end of its resources. They are on commercial drones, small drones, big drones. The number of missiles have reduced much. Anybody might say they've kept some as reserves. I don't think so. Iran has shot whatever it had and may have kept about 10-15%, but that's not likely to cause very huge difference, one. Second, some earthquake kind of a thing being noticed 10 kilometers down. One doesn't really know what that earthquake actually involves. Is it a nuclear testing done by Iran? Yet someone says that they may go in for a hypersonic missiles, things of those kind. Very difficult at this point of time because the Americans and the Israelis have not gone to war with closed eyes. They know exactly what the capabilities of Iran were, though Iran may have surprised by the resilience and by the retaliation. Notwithstanding, I think Iran, as long as that, if it had confined itself only to bombing or shelling of the US bases, the 19 of them in West Asia, it would still have been accepted because you're bound to, because if you're at war, you can expect that retaliation. But since Iran has expanded its bombardment, missiles, drones on commercial assets of Kuwait or Dubai or Bahrain or Qatar, is indicative that now a divide between the Arabs and the Persians would grow wide. Earlier, it was expected that the entire community might get together and fight the Israelis and fight the Americans, but it doesn't seem so now. There's a divide. And therefore, the kind of infrastructure of Iran in total stress, whether it is on electronic warfare, cyber warfare, all of its kind, and much of its missiles and drones aren't making the impact that they were supposed to, primarily again because it's very difficult to keep a control of the command. But my guess would be, let's wait for at least about 3-4 days, and maybe we would be able to come with, the Americans are prepared for a long drawn war, but the Iranians may not be able to take on that unless the expectation of change of regime, the change of regime is almost ruled out because it's the same regime, same thinking, same ideology. So the change may not come unless people themselves come out and revolt, which again seems the country is on a 40 days mourning for their religious head who controlled them for almost 36 years, and his son alone has now taken over. So expect for uh, well, if they do not capitulate, then a long drawn war. But then, since Mustaba has taken over, tighten your belts and be ready. And if you want peace, be prepared for a nasty, expensive, destructive war. And sooner or later, Iran obviously have to lose, but it's better that they, going on a negotiating table, diplomacy, dialogue. If Iran wants it, can still be done. But if they don't want it, difficult. But then we'll have to wait and watch. Can't really say how long, but maybe 4 to 5 weeks at the most. But within a week, we will know how long.